Whether you've thought about it or not, your equity program plays a role in your company's DEI strategy. In this video, I'm going to talk about what that role might be. Everything I talk about in this video, I learned from the NSPP webinar, Using Benefits to Address Financial Health Inequities, which is presented by Rodney Bolden and Crystal Lucille Murray of Morgan Stanley. One thing that the webinar really highlighted for me is that equity compensation can be an important tool in addressing wealth disparities. Rodney and Crystal started out the webinar by presenting some data on the wealth disparity in the US. And I've only included one of their data points here, which is median net worth. You can see there's a pretty shocking difference between the median net worth of whites in the US versus Latinx and Blacks. Now, there are lots of reasons for that disparity. It is certainly not attributable solely to equity compensation, but it might be a little bit attributable to equity compensation because Crystal and Rodney also presented this data here showing that a greater percentage of white workers receive equity compensation than Black or Latinx workers. And anyone who works in equity compensation understands the wealth creation opportunities that equity represents for employees. If Blacks and Latinx workers received equity compensation at the same rate as whites, maybe it would make a difference in the wealth disparity. Workers who receive equity compensation are more likely to rate their financial well-being as excellent or good, to feel like they can comfortably manage their debt payments, and to feel like they are on track to meet their financial goals. Equity compensation is an important resource for helping employees feel or achieve financial stability. For this reason, it is critical that your DEI strategy consider your equity compensation program so that you can ensure that equity awards are fair and that they are helping to reduce wealth discrepancies, not create wealth discrepancies among your employees. Another thing that the webinar really highlighted for me is the importance of education and financial wellness in addressing wealth disparities. Crystal and Rodney presented some data from a study that asked respondents a series of financial literacy questions. And regardless of the topic of the question, white respondents got more questions correct than Black or Latinx respondents. In addition, regardless of ethnicity, respondents who had received financial education scored higher in the study. So I think it's clear that financial education improves financial literacy. That probably doesn't come as a surprise to you. Equity compensation is a complicated form of pay. Financial literacy is critical for your employees to get the most out of their equity awards. Yet, I frequently see companies undervalue and underfund their education programs, not offer financial wellness programs, or offer the financial wellness program only to a small group of high-ranking employees. And that decision could be disproportionately impacting the participants who need that education the most. And ultimately, it could be contributing to wealth disparities among your employees. I have barely scratched the surface of all the great information that was presented during this webinar. It is really worth your time to check it out. We'll include a link in the show notes. I hope you enjoyed my video today. If you did, please subscribe to our YouTube channel. That way you're notified when we post new videos, and it really helps us out too. Win-win. Thanks for watching.